The results from this year's election are in and Prop Q is out. Today on CityCast Austin, we're breaking down the results of last night's election and what this will mean for our city. It's Wednesday, November 5th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I am here tonight with Eva Ruth Moravec. What's up, Eva Ruth?
Hey.
And Kelsey Bradshaw. What's up, Kelsey?
Hello. Can I just say I loved the intro. The results are in and Prop Q is out. That was so catchy.
Listen, drama. Thank you, Ruth. She's the brains behind this organization. So, y'all, we are here for a special election results edition of CityCast Austin. We are recording this at 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday evening. And so, there's still votes to be counted, but we're going to get into what we know so far. So, out the gate, Prop Q.
Boo, boo, boo. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. So even though it was an off-cycle election year, Austin voters had a huge choice on their plate yesterday. Voters were asked to raise taxes by 20% to give the city another $110 million for its budget, much of which was set to fund homelessness services, park services, health, and public safety. But in the end, it's seeming like Austin voters are like, nah. No.
I mean, yeah, Kirk Watson, he sent an email. I guess he already went to bed. He said, it failed. Good night.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, Kirk. He's like, all right, I'm going to bed. This is time for me.
Per Mayor Kirk Watson's Watson Wire. We are calling it.
Eva Ruth is a subscriber.
So, first of all, when the city council put Prop Q on the ballot, Kirk Watson is saying, I said, it's time to trust the voters. And he says, tonight, voters spoke by rejecting Prop Q. Austin voters made their decision, and they did so clearly, and I trust their decision, and I hear them. Listen.
They sure
if Grandpa
did.
Don't do nothing else. Grandpa Watson don't do nothing else. He gonna slide in and be like, all right. Like, cool. We good?
Got it.
And his statement's like, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. He talks about how it's clear that trust in local government is not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's not wrong.
To your point, Kelsey, he was kind of talking about the elephant in the room, right? He said, we are expected to govern with fiscal responsibility, focusing on basic services, providing them efficiently and effectively, and being accountable for the money we collect. This election was, in part, a referendum on city government demonstrating discipline and a visible effort to stop or slow rising costs and expenses. Collecting taxes, rates, and fees, even for important items, impacts the ability for Austinites to afford to live here. So he said the quiet shit out loud.
Yeah. Well, he listened.
That's something my friends and I have all been talking about. My friends and I are constantly updating each other on how much a bell pepper costs because it just keeps going up, right? Groceries are going up. The rent is too damn high. All of these things are happening with money and with budgets, and SNAP benefits were just cut off by the government, and government officials aren't being paid because of the shutdown. There's all these things happening with people's paychecks. And the city, I think they just asked for this probably at the wrong time. They asked for this fresh off of, the news coming out that they spent $1 million on a city logo that not everyone liked. We're spending millions and millions of dollars on I-35 and Parks Project. We're spending money on all of these other things. And for the city to come around and be like, and we're going to need more. Just in this trying economic time, I think for a lot of people, they were just like, no.
Yeah.
I think Austin's a very liberal city. And I think at some other point in time, this could have gone through. But because of where we're at with our paychecks.
Yeah. I think that is, the kind of reading the room part is what everybody was saying, was when is the city gonna figure this out? Because pushing this tax rate election was basically everybody on city council except for council member Mark Dushan. This was going to be a really big deal for people. They wanted taxes to go up for the average homeowner by $300. Now, with the tax rate election failing, they'll still go up by $100 for the median Austin homeowner. So it's still going to be an impact. But I mean, one thing that I know, like I remember hearing from Robin Rather when we interviewed her on the anti side was like, what about people who, you know, are on the brink of homelessness and own homes and cannot afford these? You know, you're thinking like so much of these costs were going to go to fund homelessness, but yet like, what about the people who are at risk of losing their homes because the taxes are going up too much?
It would have had an effect on renters as well.
Yeah.
Like, if property taxes go up, my rent's going to go up.
Right, exactly. And here's the thing. We said it's an off-year election, but Austinites clearly have been tracking this, right? So, like, the past 6 weeks, Austinites have been inundated with all this messaging for and against Prop Q. Like, this reach has gone from the governor's mansion to the attorney general's office to the New York Times. Like, everybody is talking about this. The Travis County had 117,507 votes cast in early voting. That's about 13% of registered voters, and that's more than the early voting in 2023.
Like, way more.
Yes.
I will say, like, according to the Travis County clerk, they posted on social media earlier that more than 100,000 people had cast their ballot today on election day as of like 6:30.
Yeah. One, it's great because it means that Austinites pay attention, but also, you know, it tells you that a lot that we not only are we paying attention, but we're like, hell no. Like, what are we doing? You want me to give you more money? And weren't there still people in line when...
Oh, do I have some fun stuff for you?
Yeah. People were still in line when polls closed.
Sorry, I'm literally interrupting you because I'm so excited about
go
voting.
ahead. Yeah, let's get into it.
This is our geek out night. We just got to let it happen.
Yes. Okay, so as of 9:35 p.m. on Tuesday, there were still 4 polling sites that had more than a 51-minute wait. And anecdotally, I went to vote today. I did not do early voting, even though I urged all of my newsletter readers to do that. I went on Tuesday like a little dummy, but I went to my normal polling place, which is the library over by Roy Guerrero Park. And normally I'm in and out of there in like 3 minutes. Like, it has never, I've voted there for like the last 2 presidential elections. Like, it has never been a long wait. There was a huge line today, and I like did not wait in the line and like went to a different place because it was going to be more than 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, and I checked on it later when I got home, and it had been like the wait time had been up to 50 minutes for a very long time, like for the whole evening. Like, it was busy. It was either yellow or red on the wait map.
Wow.
Like, it's so exciting to see people come out in one of these, you know, like a so-called like boring off year where it's like, well, there's nothing fun happening like governor or president. Why do I care? But people really care about Prop Q.
People
it's
care.
Awesome.
Yeah, it must have been Prop Q because it was not the 17 constitutional amendments.
It was not. It was
Super
not.
wasn't.
And so those of you that are listening, just in case you're not up to speed, the tax rate election would have raised Austinites property taxes by 0.05 cents, essentially, per $100 valuation, which would have cost roughly $302.68 per year for the median Austin homeowners. The largest chunk of the funding would have gone towards the city's homeless strategy office, including $12 million for rapid rehousing, $8 million for emergency shelter operations, $2 million for street outreach. Money would also go towards dozens of sworn EMS positions, more than $8 million to restore the Austin Fire Department's overtime budget, and then another $1.6 million in, quote, one-time funding to provide stability to core public health grants at risk of reduced grant funding, right? And so, listen, like, all of this sounds great. These are all things that are important, and they're all things that we love and think we need. However, to Kelsey's point, we are already spending a shit ton of money, and Austin American Statesman just released this report on how much money the city is essentially wasting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They did an incredible, the Statesman's reporting on City Hall lately is just like kudos to them. It has been really awesome to see. They came out with a story on Sunday, 2 days before Election Day. And the headline is "A Tax Hike for You, Perks for Them, Inside Austin City Council's Spending Habits." The thesis about this is that some city council members have spent this is from the story, quote, have spent thousands on furniture, artwork, consultants, training, international travel, and more using public dollars, despite being among the highest paid and best funded council members in the state. And experts and fiscal watchdogs that the paper talked to said that all of this spending suggests that Austin City Council members' budgets are simply too big and that the city has overly permissive spending policies. And their budgets are huge. And I guess I haven't been paying attention because when I saw this number, I was like, oh my God. Their budgets are almost $900,000. Their budgets are $898,000 each, which I know tell us what that pays for, Nikki.
Hold on. When I worked there, the budget was not that much. The budget was like in the 600,000 range.
Yeah.
But that budget pays for the salary for every employee. So I think they get 5 or 6 full-time employees. So that pays for their salary, that pays for their benefits. But it also pays for things that you can do in the community. So like fee waivers. And if you want to give somebody an award, you can donate it to different projects like parks and stuff like that. They have all of this money that are allotted or earmarked for certain things. And when we talked about this earlier, you guys brought up a really good point. If the city wants these earmarked dollars to be for certain things, then they should just create programs for those things
Right.
and not give it to city council as a part of their budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, there are all these things that your city council member can pay for in your district, but you could just cut that budget.
Right.
And workers would still make a living wage, right? They would still make a living wage, and not give that access. They don't need furniture. We don't need those things. Furniture, you don't need that.
Ryan Alter is the focus, really, of this Statesman story, council member Ryan Alter. And one of the things that he did, really fits into what y'all are talking about, why we should just add this to the budget then. He said that his office, because of consistent fiscal restraint in their budget, they were able to give $100,000 to the Parks Department to contribute to upgrades at Garrison Park and Piney Bend Playground. And so okay, well, if, Parks and Rec needs $100,000 more dollars, maybe that's something that should be decided by city council, for the budget and not just depending on who can save money kind of thing. That's a little strange. And then the other part of this thing that's interesting to me is Alter also gave $2,500 to the Texas Bar Foundation for a lifetime membership to the exclusive attorneys only philanthropic group. And it's tax dollars shouldn't be paying for that. I don't think. I think maybe you should pay for your own membership. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so I think this is the general feeling everyone's been having about we're all strained financially and I don't know.
Yeah, the Statesman has put out some really strong reporting. They also endorsed against the tax rate election. And I think that people were reading. I will say I think some of this kind of last minute, I don't know, maybe people were really actually struggling with how to vote on this because they wanted to do, quote, the right thing and give people, give the city this money. But then the fiscal part kept making them be all right, well, what's up with that? And I do think the strange bedfellows aspect of it was also interesting that we had, you mentioned, Nikki, the governor, and Ken Paxton, the attorney general, were both against this. But we also had Congressman Greg Casar against this tax rate election and some other grassroots people, a lot of grassroots organizations here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. So it looks like it's been rejected. And so, there is a voter approval tax rate of 52.40 cents per $100 value. At that tax rate, the city estimates it will collect $109.5 million less revenue than the amount budgeted with this TRE. So Mayor Watson says the next step is for the city manager, to bring council a budget proposal. This should be done soon. To demonstrate an orderly, disciplined process, the city manager and subsequently the council should adjust the original proposed budget, if at all, modestly. This is not the time to engage in or relitigate significant, drawn-out, divisive policy fights in the budget. There was a general agreement as to the original proposal, even as there were differences and disagreements over proposed additions and the need for certain additions that led to the TRE. So what he's saying is that it sounds like they're just going to go back to City Manager Broadnax's original budget, which was a balanced budget.
Yeah, good luck. I feel like it's not going to be that easy personally, but I mean, best of luck to him. Because I think the other thing that I think people were upset about, I read some reporting about that there was some accounting that basically some of these things that were multi-year needs were basically put into the budget as 1 year costs. And so it made it look like in order to continue these programs, this absolutely had to get passed. And I feel like some people might push back on that and be like, no, we still need these programs. We still need to fund homelessness services. We still need to provide a lot of the rental assistance program. There's still these things that really still need our attention and our funding. We can't just be like, oh, well, that 110 million is gone, so we'll just cut it off the bottom or whatever,
I'd love to see an overhaul. Let's start over. Let's overhaul everything with our money. Yeah. I don't know how anything works, but let's do that real quick.
We'll have a follow-up with Councilmember Chito Vela and Robin Rather. We talked to them beforehand, so we're going to touch base with them next week, so look out for that episode.
This episode is sponsored by DUER. I'm David Plotz, CEO of CityCast. I'm lounging in my performance denim slim straight jeans from DUER. They're incredibly comfortable. They're 5 times stretchier than traditional denim. But what's even better is that they feel stretchy without looking stretchy, so you can take them anywhere and look good. I've been wearing them to travel, out for dinner, now just hanging around my house since they are so delightful to stretch out in. DUER are pioneers of blending technical innovation with everyday clothing. They invented the original performance denim, so it's not surprising that DUER has made jeans that are the best of both worlds. Classic jeanswear style with the kind of comfort and performance you get from athletic wear. Also, they're the right color. Not too excessively deep blue, and also not that middle school jean light blue, but a lovely indigo. My girlfriend, in fact, called them the perfect color. And she's got taste. Simply put, DUER makes the world's most comfortable pants without having to sacrifice style. Get a pair for yourself or as an amazing holiday gift. Go now to shopduer.com/CCAustin. You'll get 15% off your first order. That's shopduer.com/CCAustin for 15% off. shopduer.com/CCAustin.
So Prop Q isn't the only thing that we voted on, right? You've heard us talk about the 17 amendments to the Texas Constitution that were also on the ballot today. Votes are still being tallied across the state, but at this point, it looks like the 17 amendments have passed. Although Austin voters did not support them all. So you can get into the details of these amendments more at the links in our show notes. But we wanted to talk about a few of them. So the one that I'm hearing a lot about was Proposition 4. And that would provide $20 billion over the next 2 decades for water projects, mostly aimed at addressing aging pipes and infrastructure, developing new water sources, and mitigating future floods. And that looks like it's passing in Austin.
Okay.
I know, right?
That seems good.
We care about our water.
Considering the summer we just had.
Yeah. We care about water. We care about, y'all want clean water, don't you? You want good water. Prop 3, and this one is also a really big one. Prop 3 would require judges to deny bail to individuals accused of committing specific felonies, including murder, aggravated assault, and indecency with a child, if the state demonstrates that doing so is necessary to ensure public safety or the defendant's appearance in court. So no bail. And it looks like that one did not pass in Austin. That failed. Which,
yeah, it's Yeah.
I won't lie, surprised me. I don't know why it did, but it surprised me because our culture is changing.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised by that.
The Statesman's editorial board, which is separate from its newsroom, when they were talking about Prop 3 and their recommendations, they said to vote against this proposition, saying, Texas does urgently need bail reform, but Proposition 3 would not address the problems that Texas is having. Like the current cash bail system ties pretrial freedom to a defendant's ability to pay, and that's really bad. Prop 3 would not address that problem, and so they were like, we don't need to vote for this, but it's going to pass.
Yeah. And Prop 15, which is the Parental Rights Amendment, it enshrines parental rights. And some say it goes too far and prioritizes parental control over child protection, which I agree with. Looks like that one is also failing in Austin. And then Prop 16, which is the citizenship requirement for voters. Also looks like that's failing. But, even though these things are failing or passing in Austin, it looks like overall, all 17 amendments are passing in the state, right? Eva Ruth, is that right?
Yes, that is right. And that was kind of designed to, be that way, with lawmakers kind of giving this their rubber stamp already and saying, like, this is what we want y'all to vote on to, pass this whole thing. And Governor Abbott has released a statement tonight. He announced victory, stating, "This legislative session, we delivered the conservative victories Texans demanded, and this November, Texans showed up to enshrine them into the Texas Constitution. Families will now see safer streets, higher homestead exemptions, stronger parental rights, secure elections, a ban on job-killing investment taxes, and a historic investment in our water supply." So, that happened the way as predicted.
And no capital gains tax for rich people. Rich people don't have to worry about capital gains tax. Woohoo! Let's shoot our guns. Sorry.
Pew, pew.
That would be Proposition 2.
Proposition 2. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good to know that Austin is still Austin in a lot of ways, and that my values still align with Austin values. That feels good, because I won't lie. Sometimes I am a little bit concerned after the last election. But it feels good to see our city show up, and it feels good to see the city give a shit and show up in force. So hell yeah, Austin.
It was friggin' awesome.
Yeah, I think the engagement was big. It's such an important issue, and I was glad that they spent a lot of money. Both of these sides spent a lot of money trying to get our attention, and I think, the Watson Wire confirms they listened. They're listening to the voters, even though we're calling all of this without having a single election day ballot counted, which feels weird, but
4 of them still have 51-minute wait times as of 10 p.m.
Yeah, well, here we go. Yeah, so let's keep that in mind, too. But, Mayor Watson says the voters have told us they want us to do more, and they want us to not add to the problem of affordability. We should hear them, learn from this election, and trust our voters. And so, yes, you should. So, we will keep you updated as we learn things. We'll probably keep an eye on this for a couple of weeks at least, just because some things are going to be changing, and we will let y'all know what we learned. Eva Ruth, Kelsey, thank you so much for joining me. Shout out to Alyssa for being on the production side at 10 p.m. on a good old Tuesday. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being on with me.
Thank you. This was fun. Let's stay up late together all the time.
All the time. And we'll have more election results in our newsletter, so be sure to check that out too. Okay, bye y'all.
Bye.
That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. If you enjoyed the show, tell your friends, rate the show, leave us a review, and of course, subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. And you know what? If you really love CityCast and you love chatting with us late at night, help support us by becoming a neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. And we will be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.